My name is Christian. I'm the gameplay director on Hitman Absolution. Well, as you know, we have built a brand new technology. We call it the Glazer 2 engine, and we actually got to build that from scratch, which meant we could look at all the previous Hitman titles and basically say, okay, now we are able to make the game we always wanted. So which areas did we we could focus on all the areas that make up the Hitman game and kind of look at how to improve them. The AI is now way more advanced than it ever was. It has far more nuanced behavior. So just to give an example, I think you saw some of it in the demo as well. We have this hippie apartment, and Hitman comes dressed as a police officer, and these hippies don't really care for police. So in that case, his disguise is not that good, but the hippie reaction to him as police is not necessarily to jump him. They will probably tell him to get out of the apartment, which is a kind of a new behavior system we have that's all about trespassing. Now, if you come to the apartment as Hitman, for instance, these hippies are kind of fairly tolerant to anyone but police. So they will not tell you to leave. They will kind of be friendly to you and you're kind of good to go. And conversely, if you are kind of confronted by police, they will not immediately draw out a gun and shoot you necessarily, especially if they haven't seen any killings going on. They'll probably try to arrest you. And then again, that leaves you with the option to maybe back away from the police officer, maybe lure him into a dark corner and do stuff to him, or you can try to disarm him. And again, they can escalate into full-blown combat and call for backup, and you'll have a more kind of straight-up combat situation. So that's the stuff we really wanted, to be able to go kind of full circle or more grayscale from a more black and white AI in the earlier games. And that stuff is obviously something that takes time to evolve. I think we are more focusing on what we call microcosms, so that, for instance, if you take our library, we really look at that location and say, okay, how can we make every inch of that environment actually tell you something or be something, either in the way that you can kind of find stuff. In the library, Hitman finds a bust and he uses it as an improvised weapon, or an old power cord he uses as the fiber wire, all that stuff. And in the hippie apartment, obviously, he finds a bong. That's just how improvised weapons are kind of dressing the scene. But as you would imagine, we have a pretty creative design team, and they are constantly trying to one-up each other with both ideas, you know, just kind of, hey, I woke up this morning, wouldn't it be fun if we did this and this and this? Or simply just by competing against each other and doing the levels. Obviously, as you know, we have this silent assassin ranking that is kind of really what you should aim for if you are the true Hitman, if you will. And trying to do that in a new and different way, a lot of guys are trying to kind of one-up each other there. I think, again, building the technology from scratch and getting to ask ourselves what would we improve, we looked at basically two things, right? What can Hitman do and what can the AI do? And I think I already kind of described just how much the AI can do, so that will kind of, it can take Hitman on at any given time, at any given place, and actually do a quite advanced combat behavior, both with calling for reinforcements and trying to flank and all that stuff. So on that level, it's already more engaging, but we also knew we needed to get real busy in the kind of how does it feel to aim, how does it feel to shoot and all that stuff. And that's very much a part of the new game. As you also probably saw, there's a cover system in there that is obviously useful for combat. We also really worked on making it useful for stealth and kind of these fast avoidance situations. So yeah, I think we feel like that the game is supposed to be able to. The game is going full circle in terms of what the AI can do. So obviously you have stealth. Then you have these alerted states that I talked about with police doing arrests, hippies telling you off and all that. It can escalate to combat, and then it can actually go back, and you can get into a hunting situation if you disengage from your enemies. And that's really what we wanted, this kind of a living, breathing AI. I think what we're actually doing is, I think as technology advances, I think everyone in the stealth kind of a landscape, if you will, are able to do things that are way more advanced. And that also means maybe putting their kind of unique touches on it. For us, at least that's a very big part of what we're doing this time around. Really saying that stealth is something you can do, the AI will be able to respond, and then you have these all sorts of weird, small, crazy situations that can happen. I think basically, as I talked about, you asked what was my favorite situation. What I really like is that if you have an advanced AI system, what's the real fun thing is actually when you do these ripple effects, like you do something, someone else hears maybe a gunshot, you have a dead body, you have the smoking gun, the AI starts to figure it out. Maybe you're dressed as police, so the two police officers come at you, you kill them off, okay, no witnesses left, the AI kind of goes blank, now your disguise works again, but another guy heard something, he's coming, and he sees this police officer, so what are you doing? All this where you kind of really get to improvise, and you really know that this is my own thing, like riding a wave almost, right? That's really the thing we wanted.